A affluent baron gets a dispatch ticket, walks into adjudicator Frank Caprio's courtroom, and anon starts calumniating him, abnegation to pay, and tries to airing out midheing. But what adjudicator Caprio does abutting will admonish you that money doesn't buy annual, and that heirs has consequences. This is Patricia Whitmore's story, and it shows what happens aback alms meets absolute ascendancy in an attorney's breadth appearance, affairs added than your coffer account. Let us aperceive breadth you're watching from because this adventure about accountability resonates. Everywhere bodies are annoyed of watching affluent individuals anticipate rules don't administer to them. Wednesday morning, 10 o'clock a.m. Providence Borough Court. Adjudicator Frank Caprio prepares for what seems like a accustomed dispatch case aback his bafe whispers a warning. Your Honor, this actor has been difficult with cloister staff. The citation, Patricia Whitmore, age 48, cited for active 25 mph over the acceleration absolute in a residential neighborhood. The officer's addendum acknowledgement actor was argumentative, claimed she was too important to be stopped, banned to assurance commendation initially. Patricia Whitmore enters cutting artist clothes arch to toe, accustomed to affluence handbag. Blockage her buzz consistently and authoritative it bright through her anatomy accent that she considers this proceeding below her. Miss Whitmore, adjudicator Caprio begins professionally. Your actuality apropos a dispatch citation. Amu's approach. Patricia walks advanced slowly, still attractive at her phone. Miss Whitmore, I allegation your abounding attention. Amu's put your buzz away. Patricia looks up with arresting annoyance. I'm administration important business matters. Can we accomplish this quick? I accept absolute important things to do today. The attorney's anon tenses at her dismissive accent against the judge. Miss Whitmore, this cloister is important, and you'll accord it your abounding attention. Now, you are cited for active 55 in a 30 mph zone. How do you plead? This accomplished affair is ridiculous. That acceleration absolute is cool for that road. I drive it every day, and I've never had a problem. Adjudicator Caprio's announcement charcoal calm but firm. That's not what I asked. How do you address to the charge? Fine, whatever. I was speeding. Can I aloof pay this and leave? I don't accept time for this. Adjudicator Caprio reviews the commendation capacity, while Patricia continues assuming impatience. Miss Whitmore, 25 m over the acceleration absolute in a residential breadth is serious. There are children, families, Patricia interrupts. I aperceive that neighborhood. Those bodies should advise their kids not to comedy abreast the street. I shouldn't accept to drive 30 m an hour because parents can't administer their accouchement properly. The attorneys reacts with oral disapproval at her apathetic attitude against adolescent safety. Miss Whitmore, the acceleration absolute exists to assure anybody in that community, not aloof children. Your attitude against this commendation apropos me. My attitude. Patricia's articulation rises. My attitude is that I'm an acknowledged barren actuality lectured by a baby boondocks adjudicator about active on a alley I use daily. This is a decay of my time and aborigine money. Adjudicator Caprio stands, his backbone acutely actuality tested. Miss Whitmore, I'm activity to admonish you that you're in a courtroom. You will appearance annual for this process. Annual for what? For you elastic backyard tickets to accomplish revenue. I aperceive how this works. I'll pay your accomplished and be done with it. Miss Whitmore, your accomplished for this abuse is $350 added cloister costs. Patricia action dismissively, that's it. I absorb added than that on lunch. Aloof add it to my acclaim agenda and I'll be on my way. Adjudicator Caprio's announcement hardens. This isn't a restaurant, Miss Whitmore. This is a cloister of law, and you're alleviative it like an aggravation rather than an austere matter. Because it is an inconvenience. You're alleviative me like a bent for active a little fast on an abandoned road. Adjudicator Caprio attempts to explain the calmness of her violation, but Patricia's alms alone intensifies. Miss Whitmore, I'm attractive at your active record. You accept 3 above-mentioned dispatch tickets in the aftermost 2 years. So what? I paid them all. That's how this works, right? You accord tickets, I pay them, everyone's happy. No, Miss Whitmore, that's not how this works. Each abuse represents alarming active that could abuse others. Patricia rolls her eyes visibly. Oh, please, I'm an accomplished driver. I've been active for 30 years after an accident. Your abridgment of accidents is fortunate, but it doesn't alibi a fresh dispatch violations. Look, Judge, Patricia says his appellation with accessible condescension. I'm an active person. I run 3 companies. I administer over 200 people, and I accord added to this city's tax abject than best bodies in this attorneys will acquire in their lifetimes. The arcade gasps at her errant airs and disrespect. Miss Whitmore, your banking cachet is extraneous to your obligation to chase cartage laws. Really? Because from breadth I'm standing, it seems like this accomplished arrangement exists to agitate bottomward bodies like me who actually accord to society. Adjudicator Caprio's articulation becomes stern. Miss Whitmore, I'm activity to ask you one added time to appearance annual for this court. And if I don't, what are you activity to do, Judge? Find me added money that I don't affliction about? You can't alarm me. I'm not some afraid kid or poor actuality who has to bow and scrape before you. The attorneys is actually silent, shocked by Patricia's accessible antipathy for administrative authority. Miss Whitmore, your attitude in this attorneys is as apropos as your speeding. Both appearance a apathy for rules and the assurance of others. Patricia picks up her buzz again. Are we done here? Because I actually accept important affairs today. Put that buzz down, Miss Whitmore. We are not done. Actually, I anticipate we are. Patricia turns against the door. Send me the bill. I'll accept my abettor, pay it. If you can't accept what you're watching, hit that like button and subscribe to Adjudicator Stories YT. We allotment absurd attorneys moments like this. Miss Whitmore, if you booty one added footfall against that aperture after my permission, you will be captivated in antipathy of court. Patricia stops, axis aback with a smirk. Antipathy for what? For not actuality afflicted by your little commonwealth here, for assuming a fresh boldness to this court, for attempting to leave in the average of a hearing, and for demonstrating the exact attitude that makes you a crisis on our roads. A danger. I'm a crisis because I don't alluvium afore a adjudicator in a tiny borough court. Adjudicator Caprio's articulation becomes powerful, bushing the courtroom. You're a crisis because you accept rules don't administer to you. You're a crisis because you anticipate your abundance exempts you from accustomed address and acknowledged obligations. And you're a crisis because you accept no attention for the assurance of others. This is ridiculous. I'm leaving. Patricia takes addition footfall against the door. Balafe, amuse ensure Miss Whitmore charcoal in this courtroom. The Balafe accomplish advanced and Patricia's aplomb wavers for the aboriginal time. You can't accumulate me here, Miss Whitmore. I actually can. You're in my attorneys and you'll break until this audition is concluded. Now sit down. Patricia charcoal standing. Her airs angry with the abruptability that she ability not accept as abundant ascendancy as she thought. Miss Whitmore, sit bottomward now, or I'll add a antipathy allegation to your dispatch violation. Patricia boring allotment to her position, no best attractive at her phone. Now let's altercate your bearings clearly. You were cited for boundless dispatch in a residential area. This is your 4th dispatch admission in 2 years. You've apparent no remorse, no compassionate of why this matters, and you've afresh disrespected this court. I don't accept to angle actuality and be lectured by. Yes, Miss Whitmore, you do. That's absolutely what's accident appropriate now. The attorneys watches as Adjudicator Caprio dismantles Patricia's alms allotment by piece. Adjudicator Caprio sits back, his announcement assuming assurance rather than anger. Miss Whitmore, your aboriginal accomplished was $350. However, accustomed your behavior in this courtroom, I'm accretion it to the maximum, $500 added cloister costs. Patricia's face shows 18-carat surprise. You can't do that. I can and I am. Additionally, I'm acute you to appear a disciplinarian assurance advance oral 30 days. A disciplinarian assurance course? I've been active for decades. Acutely abominably accustomed your 4 dispatch tickets. You will complete the advance and accommodate affidavit to this court. This is outrageous. I'll address this. You accept that right, Miss Whitmore. I animate you to explain to an appellate adjudicator how you advised this attorneys and see if they're sympathetic. Patricia's airs begins to able as the absoluteness of after effects sets in. Furthermore, I'm abacus a antipathy of cloister allegation for your behavior today. That's an added $200 fine. For what? For not kissing your ring. For afresh disrespecting this court, for attempting to leave during a hearing, and for assuming complete apathy for acknowledged proceedings. So your absolute is now $700 added cloister costs, which brings it to $850 added binding cartage school. Patricia's face reends. Acumen her attitude has amount her decidedly added than if she'd artlessly been respectful. You're backbreaking me for actuality successful. I'm captivation you answerable for breaking the law and for assuming antipathy for the administrative system. Your abundance is extraneous to your obligations as a citizen. I appetite to allege to your supervisor. I don't accept a supervisor, Miss Whitmore. I'm the arch adjudicator of this borough court. But again, you're acceptable to appeal. Subscribe to Adjudicator Stories YT if you appetite to see added moments breadth, advantaged behavior meets absolute consequences. Patricia stands silently, conceivably for the aboriginal time acumen that her money and cachet beggarly annihilation in this courtroom. Miss Whitmore, I appetite you to accept something. This cloister sees bodies from every background. Some can almost allow their fines. Others, like you, accede them a bridge change, but the law applies appropriately to everyone. Patricia remained silent, her beforehand airs actually deflated. A back-you acceleration through residential neighborhoods, you're not aloof breaking a rule, you're risking lives. Accouchement alive there, elderly bodies airing there, families abide there. Your accessibility is not added important than their safety. Your attitude today showed me absolutely why you accumulate accepting tickets. You don't anticipate rules administer to you. You anticipate your business success exempts you from basal address and acknowledged obligations. For the aboriginal time, Patricia looks absolutely afflictive rather than dismissive. I'm activity to acquaint you what I acquaint anybody who appears afore me. This cloister cares about your appearance added than your coffer account. Today you showed actual poor character. Patricia assuredly speaks. Can I aloof pay the accomplished and leave? Yes, but aboriginal you'll apologize to this cloister for your awless behavior. What? You heard me. You will apologize for your boldness or I'll add addition antipathy charge. Patricia stands silently, pride wearing with pragmatism. Miss Whitmore, I'm waiting. I apologize for my behavior in cloister today. Miss Whitmore, say it like you beggarly it. Patricia takes a breath. Your Honor, I apologize for actuality awless to you and to this court. My behavior was inappropriate. Adjudicator Caprio nods. Apology accepted. Now let me be bright about what happens next. You will pay $850 in fines and costs. You will complete Carthage Academy oral 30 days. You will accommodate affidavit of achievement to this court. If you accept one added dispatch admission in the abutting year, I will alone analysis your case and accede authorization suspension. Patricia nods, assuredly compassionate the force of her situation. And Miss Whitmore, one added thing. The abutting time you're active through that adjacency at 55 m an hour, I appetite you to bethink this moment. Bethink that your time is not added admired than added people's lives. Yes, Your Honor, you're dismissed. The agent will action your payment. As Patricia walks against the clerk's office, she moves differently, beneath arrogantly, added soberly, conceivably alpha to accept that annual isn't given. Based on wealth, but becoming through appearance and behavior. Patricia Whitmore's adventure reminds us that alms and heirs will consistently accommodated their bout in a fair courtroom, that money doesn't buy respect, and that accountability applies to everyone behindhand of how acknowledged they anticipate they are. Adjudicator Frank Caprio accepted already afresh that absolute ascendancy doesn't allegation to be loud or aggressive. It artlessly needs to be firm, fair, and abiding in the face of disrespect. Here's the catechism for all of us. Aback we accomplish success. Do we use it to appeal appropriate treatment? Or do we bethink that abundance and cachet don't absolve us from basal appropriateness and acknowledged obligations? Patricia abstruse that courtrooms are the abundant equalizer. Breadth your appearance affairs always added than your coffer balance. And breadth board like Frank Caprio ensure that amends absolutely is dark to banking status. Don't balloon to subscribe to Adjudicator Stories YT for added absurd attorneys moments breadth amends is served and advantaged behavior gets absolutely what it deserves. Curves.